Getting it pulled up on the Cellumatronic right now. I normally would have this ready. Chime in when you're here or when you hear me. Excellent. Let's see. What do we got so far? We've got Higher X, Camo Dad. What's up, Higher X? I hope you're excited for September. We'll be in Texas with Advanced Fighting Pistol, like you requested. Camo Dad, Northeast Ohio checking in. Little Brisk here, killing lots of bugs. Dude, we for Tennessee, we had some pretty out of the blue cold weather, man. It was rough. Like 9 degrees, I think, and it felt like negative 300. I think that was the scientific term. Can't even get my cat back on. Scientific term that the news channel gave. I think they said at least really cold. It will be at least really cold today. Jonathan Webb. Sorry, I'm going to hold this in my hand because it gives me something to do. Clancy Russell, what's up? Kyle, hello, sir. Hello. Let's see. White guy Tyrone, dude, are you going to make it out to the pistol class out in Texas? I'm just guessing you probably need a refresher. We're doing pistol and advanced pistol out there. Adam Hall, good to see you, sir. Or hear from you at the very least. Jason, what's going on? Fat Nuts chiming in from SHOT Show. We've got our reporters out there in Vegas right now. I wasn't important enough to make it out, but Thad and Lewis are coming back with all the juicy details for from SHOT Show. I'm assuming there's a new gun or two, maybe some type of new ammo. I don't know. I'm not following it. Higher X says, was literally looking up hotels today at work. Think I'm going to stay at the same one y'all do this time. Yeah, it'll probably be the Holiday Inn Express right there in Bastrop, man. Evening, everyone. Just got 8+ inches of snow in Florida. I saw that on Reddit. Yes, I browse Reddit. What's it to you? Yeah, people were sharing in the Florida subreddit. I don't know why it popped up for me. I guess just because I'm in Tennessee. Yeah, they were showing all kinds of pictures of the snow down there. I mean, what? The last time it snowed there was 1 million years ago. Let's see. Donald Rocco. Hello, sir. Tattooed fucker. What's going on? Oh, I just read your comment. What's going on, man? Howlin', what's up? Hope all is well. It is, man. I'm having a good day so far. It was a productive day, so I'm feeling pretty good. Liberty Seeker. Oh, man, maybe I shouldn't hold this in my hand. Man, we just had another student from New York call, and he called because he watched the playlist that we send out. So if you go to sign up for Fighting Pistol or really any class, Shopify automatically sends out an email and it has some videos in there, like, that James said you should watch. And so he said he watched the videos and then he didn't know if he would be welcome. And I was like, dude, what, what's going on? And he said that he just felt bad because he wasn't very, hadn't put a whole lot of prep into it. He's just starting his training journey, so on and so forth. And I was like, dude, no, don't you worry about it. So I think his plan is to come down, I think he said next month, maybe March. He wants to do a pistol class and a shotgun class. So anyway, I appreciate when people from the Northeast, really any state where it's tough for them to get the training that they want. Not that it's tough to get training in New York or California or something like that. But man, like, I always appreciate it when they show up because I get on to Tim all the time. Anytime we have a student show up from California or New York, he's like, and I think I talked about it on the last live stream. He's like, oh, you need to move out of there. And a bunch of students will chime in as well. Like, you need to move out of there. Welcome to freedom. Don't you want to move to Tennessee? Which, you should. Tennessee's awesome. But no, if we don't have like-minded individuals up there, then, like, how is anything supposed to change? Anyway, that's my high horse. I'll get off of it. White guy Tyrone trying to get his daughter to go as well. That would be awesome. That would be very cool. I think that when parents show up with their kid, whether it's like a father daughter, father son, uncle niece nephew kind of thing, I think you end up having a very good time. I always appreciate it, at least. Lindy says, hello, sir. Hello to you. I'm psyched for SUT. Try to talk some of these nerds into joining the dream team. Yeah, well, with fair point. I had meant to talk about it and I had forgotten. So I'm glad you brought it up. So the SUT class coming up in February, guys, it is our last SUT that we're going to have an open enrollment on. In fact, the last Contact Front, I think we changed the name again. What did Jay say to change the name to? High Risk Civilian. He said, just take the contractor out. So this will be the last time that we do a high risk civilian Contact Front, a contractor class, whatever works best for you to make you feel like you're missing out. This is the last time it's going to be open enrollment. Every time after this will be request only. So you will have to have a group of dudes call us and make a deposit, or not all of them have to put money down. If you got a friend who's loaded, just have them call and put a deposit down. But that's how we're going to do it from now on. So if you haven't had one of our contractor classes, it's an absolute blast. It's a lot of fun. I took the SUT class, 100 years ago, something like that. And I had a lot of fun. You have to stay in the team room the whole time. And you get to just hang out and be a team, So it's a lot of fun. Jonathan Webb says, did y'all hear about the Aimpoint Glock collab? Someone brought that up on another live stream. Actually, I don't know if they brought up the Aimpoint collab. Maybe they did. I don't know. But all I know is that when I took Don Edwards' class in April of last year, he said that it would not be long before Glock was offering a red dot right out of the box with their guns, right? So is it something like that, or is it something different? Jonathan, I believe it will cure a few problems as long as it catches on with other guys. It's a smart piece. And then he says, I meant other guns. Oh, not other guys. Okay. All right. Very cool. Let's see. What am I missing? Mark Curtis. I think it might be better to train before knowing anything. Yeah, it's yeah, Lewis says Yankees are welcome. Just barely. Just barely. Yeah, I think that yes, and obviously, like, if you don't have any bad habits that you develop, I didn't have the heart to tell him because he was like, hey, like, I want to come take the class. And what's up, Scott? And I have an NRA instructor up here who can help me get ready for the class. And I told him that wasn't necessary, to do it if he wanted to, but it absolutely wasn't necessary. We run our guns a little bit differently, so on and so forth, right? And anyway, yeah, I hope that he just shows up for fighting pistol, because I told him that we've had dudes show up with a gun still in the box that they bought 2 weeks ago, and we're able to help those dudes out and get them squared away. So we'll see what happens. At the very least, if he does go and get training from this NRA instructor, he will have some stories to tell when he goes back, or at the very least, questions. At the very least, he's going to be like, hey, why didn't you tell me about this 360-degree scan? Like, that seemed important when I took this class in Tennessee. Let's see what's going on. Where am I at? Yankees are welcome. Yep, that's where I was. I love watching all the videos in the playlist. I'll never get tired of watching any of them. It's always good info. Yes, absolutely. I find myself on a kick every once in a while, particularly if someone in a live stream like asks a question that I don't know the answer to. My first instinct is to always go back and search the YouTube channel. I should probably just use that as my answer whenever people ask things like that from now on. Austin's in the house. What's going on, man? Hello, sir. 3R Operations. That's our good buddy Brian Sayers chiming in. He's up there in the Northeast as well. Do, 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 do. Liberty Seeker says, just booked a house in Camden. We are coming for pistol rifle in early March. Can't wait. Can't wait. That's awesome, man. Very cool. We got a B&B somewhere nearby. I like it. I like it. Damn, and Isaac Demarest. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but this is turning into a hell of a live stream. Hello, sir. Lewis says, Joey, working on a surprise for the contractor class. We'll need accurate count of roster soon. Last minute signups will miss out on it though. Damn. Well, right now, so the big group that they did put a deposit down. They have not got back to us in any way, shape, or form. It was 6 or 8 of them, 6 to 10 people. I can't remember. They have not got back to us. They have not put the rest of their deposit down. But even with that, we currently have 6 signups for SUT. So it is a go. It's going to happen. 6 is like the bare minimum. So I will absolutely get the names to you very soon. So if you hear that, guys, if you want an SUT class with a special surprise from Lewis, I know normally I would not tell you to be interested in whatever surprise Lewis has for you. But I think this time it's going to be all right. Jump in that SUT class. Let's see if Lindy says if anyone is interested in these SUT, say something in the signal chat so they can bully you into signing up. Thad, yes, I am counting you and Hayden. I absolutely am. Gonna be even cooler than you thought. Absolutely. How many needed in a group to request a class? 6, I would say, and I could clarify with Jay because I'm sure we've done it with less. But from watching the classes, I would say 6 is the minimum. But Jay may have a different opinion because at the end of the day, Jay is the one who typically handles teaching these classes. So 6 temporarily. That is subject to change, but that's my guess. Let's see. What's the deadline for the surprise? Yeah, Austin, because I wasn't counting you on that yet. If you want me to go ahead, I know we talked a little while ago, a few days ago or something like that. But I can go ahead and add you to the roster as long as you promise to show up. Anyway, Glock offers a red dot. This is from Higher X. Offers a red dot, still keeps the plastic sights on the gun. Only because they know that I'm almost positive that they don't worry about like spending more money on their sights because they have embraced the fact that everybody just changes their sights. So why spend more money on sites that people are going to change out anyway? We're going to put big dots on the Glock. Like that's just how it works. So anyway, I like what you did there though. Do it now and worry about the details later. Yeah, absolutely, Austin. That's right. Aimpoint made a new dot. Glock redid the mounting system and they go together. This makes me want a dot now. You should have already wanted a dot on your gun. Bottom line, if you watched Lewis's Circle of Had To, Halo of Life, or whatever he was saying, it was Circle of Life, Halo of Had To. If you watched any of those videos, you would want a red dot on your pistol. So anyway, if this is what makes you do it, awesome, good, glad you're joining the future. Welcome to the future, old man. Yeah, I'm a big dot FUD. The thing is you can have big dots with a red dot. I know plenty of people who do that. So don't worry about it. The only downside is you're not getting the circle only reticle if it's a Aimpoint sight, unless they have finally given you the circle only reticle, which I wouldn't think they had. Let's see. Scott Wexler, hello from Isaac's house. We're doing a virtual whiskey tasting and watching the live stream. Ah, damn. Well, now you don't have a reason to be like, well, my car simulator is, the flux capacitor is going out in my car simulator, so I got to go. Nice. Excellent. D Walt, hello, sir. Man, I had a blast hanging out with you this not this past weekend. Was it this past weekend? It's all a blur. Anyway, it was fun hanging out with you at Jaegerfest. My knee is not clear to do another contractor yet. Well, all I'm saying is I know that you've probably got a long gun. You could like, just be moral support slash Overwatch kind of thing. You'll never carry the bag. Put it that way. John Crewer, hello, sir. Let's see. The Glock Aimpoint collab gets rid of the plastic sights and give you metal ones. Okay, very cool. Well, looky there. That's what you get when you go to SHOT Show. You get all that inside information. Mark Curtis, I got recommended liquid turmeric and bovine joint supplements. Hope your knee gets better. Yep, I have heard things about turmeric, but you have to have black pepper to activate it or something crazy like that. I don't know. I'm just repeating what my mom says. And she is a voodoo woman who does things like you got to eat turmeric with black pepper, and then you got to, stare at the moon for at least 30 minutes after it's approximately 67 degrees in the sky. Mark Curtis. Nope, already read that. Austin says, all right, I'll get back to you after Friday / payday. First 8 to 10 signups will be extra happy. Sorry, I just saw Scott's comment. My tires are fixed, I'll have you know. My tires have been a-okay since I got them fixed. Let's see. Where's this SUT roster at? Just in case anybody is curious if they're missing out on that special goodie from Lewis. We have, if I count Austin, 8 signups. So there are 2 spots left to get whatever Lewis is talking about. I don't even know. I didn't go to SHOT Show with him. So whatever crazy thing he's worked out there, like if you want to have a chance at it, we've got 2 spots left before we're at 10, and it will go to the first 10 signups according to Lewis. Joseph, the cooler Joseph, I should say. Let's see. I'm happy with OEM steel Glock sights, but we are all different. Yeah, we are all different. You're right. Matt Butler. Yes, there are people at SHOT Show. Lewis and Thad are out there hanging out. I don't know if Lewis is getting any video or anything like that. I unfortunately was not able to make it out there this time just to due to everything that's going on here at the shop between, it falling apart and us readjusting to working from home and all that good stuff. I just knew it would be too much of a headache to try to take a whole 2 weeks off to get that handled. So Lewis and Thad are out there. I didn't ask them to do videos or anything. So maybe I'm not putting Lewis on the spot, but if they're not recording videos, then when Lewis is back in town some weekend, we'll get together and maybe film a wrap up if he isn't doing that on his own YouTube channel or something like that. Try Carnivore. Yep. Peptides. A bunch of crazy people in here. Max and Fiore are at SHOT. I know. They both messaged me asking if I was going to be there, and I was like, sorry, you'll have to hang out with Lewis for a week. Oh, woe is you. So Higher X. Okay, so I've been on the fence about trying the whole red dot on the pistol thing. Last week, I finally said, okay, I'll try it. So I go to find a Gen 5 17 MOS, and it turns out that Glock discontinued them. Damn. Well, they probably discontinued them because this thing with Aimpoint has been in the works for a while, I would assume. But don't let that discourage you, because you should get a red dot on your pistol. Absolutely, you should. Bottom line. That's my opinion on it. So, anyway, you should do it. You can always send the slide to get milled, which is unless their new MOS system is better than their current one, you should probably do that anyway. So you can send in an older Glock and get it milled to fit whichever optic you want. You should probably, I would recommend, and I'm sure Lewis would as well, any of the Holosun enclosed emitters or the ones that are meant for carrying. I can't remember their whatever model they have that's like their EPS, or I can't remember. But anyway, yes, like you should look into that. Couldn't fit SHOT Show this year, likely next year. Yeah. No, I hope I'm able to go next year as well. I do hope so. I do have a good time out there. Even though I don't hang out at the Circle Bar with everybody like Lewis does. I'm an old man. I go to bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock whenever we're out there. Um, so but I still have a good time. It's a lot of fun. Are Holosuns okay with rifles? Yes, absolutely. All of our rental rifles have Holosuns on them, and we haven't had any major issues out of them. Normal red dot stuff, changing batteries and things like that. But a lot of them have been through of a few fighting rifle classes and have had 0 issues. Wexler, I'll be in Vegas this weekend for Student of the Guns class with Buell, Sufana, and Austin. We're hosting them down here in Camden in March. They're doing their fighting pistol class. What do they call it? What do they call it? Oh no, I'm a bad friend. I can't remember. What's their pistol class called? Something 101? I don't know. Martial application of the pistol. Boom, got it. Anyway, they're doing that one, and they're I promise I said it before your comment popped up. Wexler. Anyway, they're doing that in their instructor course. So if you're interested in getting a refresher or taking their instructor course, which I would highly recommend, it's a very, very good class. I had a lot of fun in it. So anyway, just come on down to Camden. Then we get to hang out. Where am I at? Let's see. Glock 47 is the same size as a Glock 17. Okay. Yep, just get the slide milled. Excellent. And Lewis says he was planning to debrief with me next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Let me just check the calendar, make sure I've got some room in my absolutely swamped schedule. Yep, I got room. Yeah, that sounds good, man. Gen 5 Glock 17 MOS is LE only now. Damn, that's crazy. Wait, Lewis says he's at SHOT. I forgot to read this one earlier. Send request for info to his Instagram, boomshays_big_adventure. Yes, do that thing. Let's see. Lewis, what is the name of your YouTube channel? And then Lewis chimed in a few comments later. Pistol 201, absolutely. Isaac is going to be at their pistol class in March. Very cool. What are the dates on the Student of the Gun classes? Sometime in March, apparently. They're on the website, Kyle, so check them out. But I don't know off the top of my head, and instead of using my phone to dig through the website and stuff like that, apparently they're in March. I had a lot of fun in their pistol class. I think they do a very good job. It is very similar to fighting pistol. But you guys know, we've talked about it 100 times on anytime Paul gets brought up, we talk about how similar him and James were. Like when James had us read Paul's instructor book, right? Lewis will talk about how he thought James was using a pen name at first because of how similar some of the things that Paul was talking about was. So anyway, Paul gets it, absolutely understands the reason behind doing all of this stuff. And anyway, so the pistol class was great. I had a very good time in it. And then the instructor course is a lot of fun as well. I would say that I can't remember. I can't remember if their instructor course is 3 days or if it's 4 days, but one way or the other, they do a very good job of balancing the in-person talking and stuff like that, getting you ready to present in front of other people. And then they also do some range work. If I had to say anything that was missing from our instructor class is 5 days, it would be range work. Paul, whenever I took it, did a it's a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Artificial, in the sense that he would send one group of students up to the line, he'd pull the other ones back and be like, "Hey, you're going to jerk the hell out of the trigger. You're going to look over your sights. You're going to do this. You're going to flinch really hard, whatever, And then he'd send them up, and the guys who were waiting up on the line had to diagnose you as you started shooting. So I think that is a skill that you should know if you're planning on becoming a firearms instructor, being able to notice those things and diagnose that stuff. And I enjoyed being able to do that in the class. Anyway, that it's a good class. You should take it. Let's see. Lewis is flying out on Saturday. Very cool. Excellent. Well, damn, I made it all the way through it. I was starting to worry that I was not going to catch up to the comments. Very cool. I don't have anything to talk about. I had something at the start of all this. What was it? Literally on the way here to the team room, I was like, what am I going to talk about? Oh, I've got I had 2 topics and I can't remember them. I can't remember them at all. Shit, doesn't matter. If you guys have anything for me, go ahead, throw it out. Lewis, Thad, if you're still watching, throw something out from SHOT Show. I don't know. What was I going to talk about? Maybe, and I don't have anything to ramble about or rant about. Let's see. I don't know. I taught a fighting rifle class. We got into a debate, not a debate. The student was very open-minded, very, very good dude. I got not into an internal debate, but we were doing partial offside shooting. And so of course, full offside shooting gets brought up. And I don't know, I'm curious, are there people out there who actively teach and encourage full offside shooting? Like, how prevalent is that? I was curious about it because it got my brain going, because I wanted to talk about it on the internet, because we haven't posted anything on social media in a while, and I plan on ramping that stuff back up now that we're getting settled into our routine. Anyway, with that being said, I was like, man, when I start talking about partial offside, I wonder if there's going to be a bunch of people dogpiling me. Anyway, I got a couple of comments to read from there. Thanks to me rambling for a little bit. Isaac says voting for NRA board will be in February. Please bullet vote me and send in your ballot. We are on the way to fixing the NRA. Yes, guys, if you are an NRA Life member, or I'm sure Isaac could tell you, if you've been a member for X amount of years or something like that, you get to vote for the board. You should receive something in the mail. And here's the deal. This is the spiel I give at the end of every single class, because we always mention the NRA at the end of every single class. You guys know this. Most of you are alumni. So do I wish that the NRA cared as much about us as they do the hunters and the sportsmen and what have you? Insert anything else. Yes, of course, I wish they cared about us as much as they care about that stuff. But as cheesy as it sounds, you have to be the change that you want to see. So thanks to our alumni, thanks to people like Scott, and I can't remember, fuck. Now, I was about to be nice and start name dropping people. Then I was like, oh shit, I can't remember all their names. All of the alumni who have went out and voted for Isaac at these different annual meetings and things like that. Like, it's thanks to you guys that we have a like-minded individual on the board of directors at the NRA. And if there's anyone that you could kind of trust to start, bullying people into doing what what kind of, what fits our agenda. That sounds nefarious. Uh, into doing what is right. That sounds a little bit more righteous. Then you can count on Isaac, and we need more people like that. So if you don't like how the NRA is run right now, you should vote. You should absolutely vote. So if you get those ballots in the mail, don't throw them out. Open the mail from the NRA. Yes, I know that 90% of the time it's them asking for more money. That's fine. Open it anyway, just to make sure you don't accidentally toss out the ballot, where you can keep Isaac, the only one that we've really got right now that I know of. Isaac can correct me. But he is the most like-minded individual on the board. That's with 100% confidence. He is the most like-minded individual on the board at the moment. So if you care about the NRA fixing itself, we have to get more people like him on there. And at the very least, we have to keep him there. So get out there and vote, guys. Thomas says, I'll be reaching out about contractor tomorrow. Absolutely, man. You can, if you have my personal phone number, you can give me a call. If I don't answer you, send me a text. Otherwise, call the office phone number. I will be working from home tomorrow. Do I have any reason to step out and do stuff? I don't know. Call the phone anyway. I typically bring it with me, so we'll get you taken care of, man. Hit the like button. Good evening from New Hampshire. Kevin, thank you, sir. Doing my job for me. I do see, I'm not judging anybody, but I do see we have 48 viewers and only 18 likes. So again, do what you want, but I will take it personally if you don't hit the like button. That's all I'm saying. If you care about me and my family, you should hit the like button. But if you don't care, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just, we'll starve or whatever you want. I don't know. 1301 chisel now will fold, and the A300 has an option for the chisel stock. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Sonny taught me full transitions. That was years ago. That was a few years ago. Let's see. The dog pile is actually about switching shoulders at all. It's gone out of style in favor of speed and accuracy. Typical, but the industry has their priorities backwards. Lewis putting his YouTube channel in there, just shamelessly plugging himself as usual. No big deal. Not considering it's more important to not be shot than it is to shoot the bad guy. Isaac is making some changes and he's bullying the right people. Yep. Lindy says, I've made a post about it, but my page doesn't have enough followers to start controversy. Hey, that's a good spot to be at sometimes. You're like, yes, you want more people, but yes, enjoy it while you can, kind of thing. Switching shoulders is an important skill to cover properly. It will increase survivability, and that's important regardless of mission/context. I think it's negligent to advocate against shoulder switching. Obviously, the context applies. You don't need to do it all the time, but knowing how and when is important. Lindy, I agree with you. I like what you're saying. Absolutely. Joey, have you heard the new Alien Weaponry song yet? I have not, Mark Curtis, but I am excited. At first when I saw have you heard the new Alien Weaponry, I was like, oh, this is going to be about some gun or anything like that. But if you're mentioning a song, now you've got my interest. Contractor is the next level of mindset change. There's nothing like fighting pistol and rifle to cement the right way of thinking. SUT takes that to working with others of the same mindset. Yes, absolutely. So before I dive into that, so the shoulder changes, the offside shooting and stuff like that. We used to teach partial offside and full offside both in fighting rifle. We recently, a year ago or so, just took full offside all the way out of it, because what we saw was, at least in fighting rifle, if we taught people the full offside, what ended up happening is they would try to use it later in class, and then something would happen, name it. Basically gun goes click instead of bang while they're full offside. and now they're juggling a gun while trying to get a mag out and like touch their head with their toes and things like that. Like shit starts falling apart real quick. Um, so we have swapped to just teaching partial offside, even though it is less effective. But you're more likely to use that. It is a harder, not a harder, it's a softer skill to learn than the full offside. Um, so yeah, I think that there's still something to the idea of using the opposite shoulder and stuff like that. But then we have people that we've talked to that are like, yeah, I've like in actual gunfights, I've never seen anybody swap shoulders or much less do full offside, but I've never even seen them swap shoulders. They typically just lean out. And so is that a practice issue? Can you drill that in enough to where it becomes second nature, where you're just like, yep, I'm coming up to insert which side of cover, depending on if you're left or right handed, and your body automatically does the thing? I'm sure, but anyway, yes, it's important. um, but yeah, so on the contractor thing, um, yes, absolutely. It cranks the mindset up so much. You're working with a bunch of like-minded individuals. It is very, very, very rare that someone gets all the way to one of our contractor classes. I keep calling them that. It's gonna stick. It doesn't matter. Into one of our contractor classes who doesn't have their shit figured out, you know, who isn't to just, I don't know how else to say it other than who isn't about this life kind of thing. So when you get a bunch of people in there who are about this life, who do take it serious, and who are looking for that next level of training, I mean, Isaac can tell you about it. He like you form bonds with people in these classes. Like his original SUT class, I'm sure if I'm telling the story correct, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're all in a chat together. They're all checking in on each other often, and they, at least most of them, try to make it back to whatever contractor class they decided to take next, from direct action to the sampler package to whatever. And if we offered a contractor, if we did the driving package again or something like that, Isaac and that group that he took SUT with would all be talking together to see how they could get their whole group back down here. Anyway, it's a very good class. Make the video on the malfunction with offside. Make the video with the malfunctions with offside. Wasn't that something that Jay was supposed to do? I mean, I'll do it, but why not wait till February when Jay's going to be here so I can make him do that thing he said he was going to do? I've seen body cam videos of dudes getting killed leaning out of cover without shoulder switching. I've seen lots of videos in trenches in Ukraine of dudes switching shoulders. Awesome. Okay, very cool. Excellent. Listen, I agree with you, man. Like if you can do it, like train yourself to do it, practice it enough to where it becomes that second nature. Yeah, no, obviously it's the better option. Obviously it is. And in fact, whenever we talk about partial offside, um, at least for me, whenever I'm teaching it, I tell people like, hey, like if you want to be able to use this skill, you're gonna have to go out and practice it. Uh, and it is the better option. So anyway, yeah, it's all about how you're trained and the level of mastery. It's not about how you're trained, though. It is absolutely not about how you're trained. It's about how you practice. Because I train people often. I fighting rifle is 2 days. I will train them on how to do partial offside for this much of the time out of that 2-day class, right? We have a block of instruction right here. You're not going to use it in a stressful situation. Yeah, training and practice. Absolutely. You're not going to use it if this is your only introduction to it and the only time you do it. So it's less training and more practice. Yes, of course, training comes into play because you have to be taught it in training. But anyway, the the practice is where it really comes in. Yeah, we still are, and we talk most every day. Team make a whole. There you go. I told you. Here's the deal, guys. Most people will not train as much as the 50 people here right now. In order to run your rifle ambidextrously, it will take a lot of hard work and dedications. If students are not willing to take that step in their training path, then they might be better served not trying it. Full dexterity while running at full speed and being able to hit bullseyes is the goal for shooting abilities in the context of fighting. It is a long and difficult road that is humbling. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If you if you're not willing to eat a big old slice of humble pie, um, then you probably don't stick around the training stuff for very long, because it's only a matter of time before you take a class where you're introduced to something that you suck at, that you are just absolute dog shit at. And I'm sure that there are people out there who, when they took our fighting rifle class and we do partial offside, or back when we did full offside, that were like, this fucking sucks. I am never doing this again in my life. And to take it a step further, there probably are a few people out there who are like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. So yeah, you have to be willing to swallow and eat that slice of humble pie and do the things that you suck at. Garrett Matson, hello, sir. Always good to hear from you. Training is good, practice is good. Yeah, I like it. You will not use it under stress until you master it, and that mastering it requires so much that it should be reserved for those who seek it. Or maybe not that it should be reserved, but there are a lot of things to address before that. Um, yeah, all right. Well, yes. So what would you say? Is it more important to to like you said in your comment, is it more important to be able to move? And I'm not saying that this isn't important. Is it more important to be able to move and make headshots? Is that what you said? I don't want to misquote you. Bullseyes. Bullseyes is the goal. So running at full speed and being able to hit bullseyes is the goal for shooting abilities. So would you say that that probably is, if you could get to that level, is important, more important than the partial offside or even full, especially full offside kind of thing. Um, but to get to that level of running at full speed and making bullseye shots, where does the proper use of cover fall in? Partial offside or full offside technically is the proper use of cover. If we say the proper use of cover is exposing as little of us as possible, while still, being able to get shots onto the bad guy, right? So where does that fall in? Because if you don't practice anything other than that, working toward that goal of full speed movement, bullseye shooting, it doesn't leave a lot of room for anything else. It doesn't leave much room to achieve that level of mastery. I mean, you're talking about a long time frame there. So for the people watching, Lewis, if and I'm not challenging you or anything like that. I am honestly just thinking about it. So um where does it fall in? Like, if our end goal is the full speed movement, bullseye shooting, where does proper use of cover fall in? Like, how much of your, because it's in there somewhere. How much of your practice slash training should be that? You know, um, very curious. I don't know, man. It's tough. Sonny advocates full switching when moving to the left. I can see where he's coming from. When I think about it, I'm thinking about specifically coming out from the left side of cover, so I'd be stationary behind cover. Right. Well, because the offside and offside, whether it's you're left or right-handed, right? Um, yeah, you're going to be swapping from whatever you're usually carrying the gun on. Um, we're on the same page, just thinking about it differently. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody in this chat right now, we're all on the same page. Everybody is on the same path. We're all pointed in the same direction. To quote from James, if we're arrogant enough to think our compass points true north, and we are that arrogant, um, if we're pointing true north, there's a bunch of people who might be like a degree or two off. Like we're all heading in the same direction. It's just we might take slightly different paths to get there. Um, yeah. So yeah, no, absolutely. There are situations where moving is the answer. There are others where surgical precision is required. We also need to look at what is realistic to obtain and where training is best spent. Yeah. I mean, yes, absolutely. I try to avoid the situation will dictate the tactics kind of thing, as an answer, because that feels like the lawyer answer of it depends. It's a little bit of cop out. Um, you know. so so yeah, of course, like obviously, yes, there will be times where moving is the absolute best answer, and then standing still and getting that absolute precise precision shot is the answer. It does depend. Yeah, yeah, I know it does. It does. I know. But if we're trying to just think in general terms, where does it fall at? Where do we practice this stuff? Lewis, this is Lewis's guide. Lewis says movement, number one, movement. Then number two, hitting your target. Number three, keeping your gun running. Number four, use of cover. Number five, get better at all of those. LOL. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that is a very, very solid list. If we were doing a tier list of training, um, I don't think I can be mad at that ordering. Um, yeah, I can't be mad about that. I mean, movement is the absolute bottom line. Movement is very, very important. Yes, it should be up there. Hitting your target, yep, absolutely, right? We don't get to just shoot at bad guys. We have to actually hit what we're shooting at. Very good. Keeping your gun running, yes, absolutely, and then use of cover. It's it's almost like it's almost like our classes are built around that idea. It's almost like it. Uh Recommendations on a decent AK-74. I don't know off the top of my head at the moment, but I will do my best to remember, and I can tell you the AK-74 that James owned that he ended up giving to Heather. I don't remember the model or anything like that, but it James took Heather out to shoot. He brought a whole bunch of guns with him one day, a bunch of rifles, and so she was out there shooting a whole bunch, and he asked her which one was her favorite, and she said this one, and it was an AK-74, and so that is Heather's favorite gun. He gave it to her, and so I can get you the model of that one. Now I can't say that is it an Arsenal. I would assume so. The AK that he gave me was an Arsenal. Um, but oh no, you're saying you don't want to spend 3K on an Arsenal. Oh shit. Okay, well, I would probably assume that this AK-74 is an Arsenal. The AK-47 he gave me was an Arsenal. But I will do my best to remember. I will ask you to remind me next week, and I might have an answer for you for whatever that model is. Spend 3K on an Occam. There you go. Can't go wrong there. So many skills to improve on. It can be counterproductive to hyper focus on just one skill. The perfect of the enemy. The perfect enemy. Perfect is the enemy of good. Yes. What Garrett just said. When discussing performing under stress, human behavior under opposition needs to be taken into consideration. Motionless operators ventilate easily. Harder to fight once ventilated. Yes. Sell me yours, Joey. I can't. I literally cannot. Literally cannot. That is that I don't know. I've probably talked about it on the live stream before, but like that AK, I fucking love that thing, man. Like that is I will not say which one is better, AK versus AR, but I will tell you which one is cooler. And AKs are absolutely cooler than ARs. Like everything about them is more fun. It is a blast. So I can't, and it's because it's the only one I own. So if I get an upgrade, if I spend 3,000 on an Occam, then maybe we can talk. Do good, fast, cheap. You're not going to get all three. Absolutely. Uh, or find a SAR 2. Yep. Okay, Lindy, here's a hot take, Joey. AK is dead in the United States. Guns are just as expensive, if not more than ARs. Ammo, because of the import restrictions, is more expensive than 223. And ARs are more reliable compared to 10 years ago. Um, yeah, I can absolutely understand all that stuff. And I mean, I don't even know if that's a hot take, you know? Um, like shit hit the fan here in the States. You're probably more likely to be able to find stuff for the AR, whether that's another AR or ammo for said AR or what have you, you know? So again, I'm not talking about which one is better. But what none of your points addressed is the fact that the AK is cooler, you know? So that's why I have both. Yeah, I don't pick an AK or the AK is not my favorite because of the whole thing like, well, AKs never break, da 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 da. Da. You teach enough classes, you see AKs go down. It does happen. Um it's not typically an issue. I like AKs. I wish they weren't dead. Yeah, so it's not typically an issue like some of the ARs in class where it's like, oh, you just didn't lube it enough. You know, you've been shooting for 3 hours and now it's getting a little gummy. You know, when they go down, they typically go down pretty hard because it's a more major issue. But anyway, yeah, I don't pick an AK over all that stuff. I literally just pick it because it is more fun to run. It's the same reason why I like pump guns more than semi-automatic shotguns. I have more fun running a pump gun than a semi-automatic. So it's all comes down to the cool factor. 7 to 8K, I'm assuming rounds on his Occam. I'll continue to run the hell out of it. Hell yeah, AK is life. Excellent. Good luck finding 545 ammo. Yeah, that is apparently tougher to find. I remember it wasn't that long ago. Well, not that long ago. I mean, it was we were going out to shoot and Heather wanted to take her AK-74 out there. And he gave her, we had a can of ammo and we were going out to the range and James was like, "Hey, like shoot all of that you want, but just know, I'm guessing it was right after the whole importing stuff was going on. But just so you know, like I wouldn't shoot a whole lot of that like just for fun." He's like, "Use it to take a class, do whatever you want with it. I have more, but we may not be able to get more." So, yeah. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Cooper harder than finding you. Yep, I like it. I like AKs. Already done that. Matson Garrett says, "Be competent with all guns, understand how to use them, and be dangerous with anything except red dot. Then it's aim point." Damn, you were so close. You were so close to being right in that whole comment. Like almost 100% of that comment was correct. And then you just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory right there at the end. But no, that is actually something that was yeah, you don't have to be an expert in everything. And I believe, speaking of Paul Markle's instructor book, he does a very good job of describing this. You don't have to be a subject matter expert in every single gun. You don't have to know how every single one works, but you should be competent and confident in running any of the major guns, you know? Any of the more popular ones. Can I time Garrett out? I don't know, actually. You're both mods. I don't know if you can time him out, man. I guess you're just gonna have to rock, paper, scissors, gentleman's agreement that whoever loses can't chat for 30 seconds. AKs do have their own vibe. Absolutely. They pass the vibe check if that's what the kids are still saying. Demarest Isaac says, "Don't knock my EOTech." Make AK ammo cheap again. I love it. Here's a hot take for you guys. Not a hot take. Here's a nerdy take for you guys. Since I have been running the circle only reticle, when I play Call of Duty, I feel so dumb even saying this. When I play Call of Duty, if I put a red dot on my pistol in the game, I swap it to the circle only reticle on there because they have the option. Even Call of Duty knows that the circle only is better. So that's all I'm saying. Let's see. Where did I leave off at before I started nerding out over here? I ran an AK through fighting rifle. Yep. Very cool. I mean, hey, I ran an AK through fighting rifle. AAC is making 7.62 ammo that's decently priced. I don't know if it's any good, though. AAC, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Because it might be one of those things where I'm like, hey, let me buy a bunch of your ammo and let me shoot it through some AKs and I'll do a video for you. Yes, please. Yep, make AK food cheap again. Lewis, what's special about Heather 74? I'm a big 74 fan. I don't know if Lewis will know that. Heather got that gun from James before Lewis was working here, I believe. And I don't know, I can't think of a time where they both went out and shot it or anything like that, but there's 3 Joeys on your screen right now, all according to plan. Just overwhelming you with this awesomeness. Okay, Isaac, you can run your EOTech. Have them use them too, like the Acro more than EOTech version. Fucking nerd. Yep, absolutely. I'm so mad at Call of Duty. It made my wife want a Beretta. Damn. But that's where it starts, though. That's where it starts. I remember I was 17, maybe 18 years old, working out at John's for the first time. And I had played a bunch of Call of Duty back then, like I always do, or always did, have been, continued. I used to play Call of Duty. I still do, but I used to too. Anyway, and I was working out at John's over at SOE. And my favorite gun in whatever Modern Warfare was out, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, was a Scar. And then John talked about somebody in a class having one. And it, kind of like sparked, oh shit, like that thing that I do that I use in Call of Duty is like an actual thing. Of course I don't, anyway, I'm just saying that's just the opening door right there. The circle of death. Yep. We had a whole group of Occams in fighting rifle. I know, pretty good. I didn't know the Call of Duty designers listened to Lewis. I'm telling you. I do circle only on my Fallout guns. Hell yes, absolutely. The Yeet cannon can mount rifle dots. I like it. I think Heather's is a Tula Crink kit. Yes, Crink sounds very familiar. I know that's what Heather calls it. Running an AK through SUT is being a dick, though. Run AR with the rest of your team. Carrying those mags suck. Yeah, that's the thing, is that it does. It does suck if you bring an AK to SUT. Um, like you're probably going to be the only one of two that um that has an AK, and everyone's going to have to carry your extra mags around, and no one's going to get to use your extra mags other than that one extra guy. So bring an AR to SUT, you know, but bring an AK too. Do Advanced Armament Company. Thank you, sir. There was a YouTube video on that 74 given to Heather. There you go. Who was asking about that earlier? Whoever it was. There you go. Search the YouTube channel. I should have just said, hey, you could probably find that on the YouTube channel. 86 Tula Crinks are bringing huge money. Huge. It's just like your opinion, Isaac. I like it. Had to be Smiley running his car and fighting rifle. Everyone was stunned. He got it muddy. Impossible to get at the time. Let's see. What year would that have been? That would have been around 2010, 2011, maybe. So if you're a super nerd like Cat Ass, then you could probably say with certainty if that was it. Let me just burn through these comments real quick before we wrap up. If only she'd played Battlefield, she'd want a Glock and RPK. Yeah, so again, now when I play Call of Duty, like when it comes to leveling up the handguns, I always pick their version of Glock first and get that leveled up all the way. But if you guys don't know, I'm about to, this isn't a Patreon stream, little bit of tidbit for you. Activision, or I can't remember which Call of Duty it was, got in trouble for a gun that was used in a shooting kind of thing stuff. So before, in the old days, they would actually have the names of real life guns in there, like their model numbers and so on and so forth. But then after that happened and they had a big old lawsuit, now they have to like make stuff up. So it looks like the thing, but instead of being called a Glock, it's like a GS847 or something like that in game. So anyway, I always find the one that is supposed to be the Glock. They're owned by Palmetto State. Okay. I don't have enough 223. Got to do 1 to 2 days with AK. There you go. That's fine too. Do it. William and I will argue with you through the next half a dozen contractor classes while running Occams. I like it. Can't go wrong with a Glock. You absolutely cannot. Yes, the more you use it, the more validity you have in your opinion. I'll try and catch up to you in HRCC classes. Nice. This is the way. Stay dangerous, friends. Nerd talk is always fun. Excellent. Very cool. Well, guys, now that I did that, I can never remember what it's called. Power Hour, where I just burned through those comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you're interested in Contractor, don't forget that you should sign up for that coming up in February. It'll be the last open enrollment. Yeah, that's it. Oh, send me, I don't know. Never mind. Maybe I'll save this for a social media post. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Sign up for Contractor. We'll be back next week. You guys are awesome. Keep being awesome. And this is the way. And I'm going to reach up here, press this button. Don't mind the fat finger.